What's up, y'all? We just signed Austin Ekeler for $11 million for the next 2 years. I personally don't think that was a good pick. And let me tell you why that wasn't a good pick. One, because we just gave up somebody that was so similar to Austin Ekeler. Hear me out. Antonio Gibson, right? We just gave him up, and the Patriots paid him $11 million for 3 years. We could have did the same thing, and we would have saved a little bit more money. And obviously, I understand it's a new regime, and they want to make picks that count, and they want to make picks that are their own, and that they feel and that they trust in. I understand that, I do, but it's certain things that don't need to be fixed, and I felt like he didn't need to be fixed. And then I'm just also going off the fact that when you think about Austin Ekeler and you think about Antonio Gibson, you can see it's a huge difference. Austin Ekeler had about altogether like 4,300 yards, right? And I believe that's just rushing alone, right? Now, if we account for Antonio Gibson in the last 4 years that he's played, in the last 4 years that he's been in the league, he's only racked up 2,600, and that's because he hasn't been a starter in the last 2 years. Understandable, but I feel as though by him not being a starter and he's only been in the league for 4 years, I think the wear and tear on him was perfect. I think he had enough give in him to make it a few more years. Like, I wouldn't mind giving him the same deal that that the Patriots gave him. I don't see why we didn't just give him that deal, seeing as though he's about to be 26 and Austin Ekeler is about to be like 29. So that's a 3-year difference. And I'm not saying Austin Ekeler is not a great player. I'm just not seeing the difference. Of course, it's a height difference and it's a speed difference. And honestly, if we're going off height, Antonio Gibson is it. He's 6'2", Austin Ekeler is 5'10". And if we're going off speed, once again, Antonio Gibson runs a 4.3. Austin Ekeler runs a 4.5. Still a better person we should have got. I can put it that way. I think we should have just kept Antonio Gibson, and of course he would have taken whatever we gave him because he would have felt like that's what he deserved in a way. If you catch my drift, he was only a starter for 2 years, and then 2 of those years he was a backup. So, and then he played special teams. And it's not because he was a backup that he wasn't good. It was just the fumbling issues. And that was really the only thing we felt as though we wanted him not to start anymore. And then that's why we brought Antonio Gibson in. And I feel good about Antonio Gibson. He's a strong running back. And of course he needs somebody like Antonio Gibson or Austin Ekeler to complement him in a way. And they both work together good. And one is a yin and yang. I get it. But I just felt like we overpaid for something we didn't need to pay for. But I understand it's a new regime. They want to do things their own way. They want to get their own people. And it was a perfect time to give up on people you didn't know. You see what I'm saying? Or people you just never cared about. And the way I see it, I just felt like we should have kept Antonio Gibson. We could have gave him less than that. You know what I'm saying? We could have gave him probably a 3-year deal worth $10 million, $9 million. Like, we could have gave him something where we saved, especially as much as they worry about running backs. Why go get a running back that has a lot of mileage on him? You know what I'm saying? And not stick with Antonio Gibson. Am I the only one feeling like clueless about this pick? But I'm just trying to figure out because I just felt like it was a pick that didn't need to happen. But, I mean, of course, things going to change. That's how the league works. And, he's been here for a while. And honestly, in my opinion, in the last 4 years, Austin Ekeler has fumbled, I believe it was 15 times, right? And, of course, his production has gone extremely up, almost doubled the amount of production that Antonio Gibson has had. But when you look at the last 4 years, comparing it to Antonio's 4 years in the league, Antonio had, I believe it was 12 fumbles, right? And it's just, I didn't think they needed to do that. And then it seems so similar. They seem so similar. That might be the smallest little thing. If Antonio Gibson was a starter in these last 2 years, we could probably see a huge difference, and we could probably say, okay, no, he needed to go. But to me, honestly, I didn't feel as though there was a huge difference. But we're going to see. We're going to see if this pick was a good one. And, man, I appreciate y'all. And let me know how y'all feel about this pick. And be honest, man. Like, I mean, just because they picked it don't mean we got to agree with it. Of course, this is our team, but we ain't got to agree with every single pick. And this is one of them picks I just don't agree with. I just felt like we were good with Antonio Gibson. He did the exact same thing, and he was faster. He was younger. And I just felt like it was just something that didn't need to happen as fast. And why go out and ruin a good thing or something that didn't really cause too much of a problem? And he was doing great in the backup position, I felt like. And last season, he had a great season to me. That was a good season, I felt like. And he definitely complimented Brian Robinson great. So y'all let me know what y'all feel, and let me know what y'all think. I'm out.